Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Players Lounge at Clemson. Thank y'all for tuning in. Glad to have you. This podcast is brought to you in collaboration with the 110 Society. If you haven't checked them out, please do. They're the official collective for Clemson University. And we're here at the Shepherd Hotel. If you haven't been to Clemson, this is the best place to be. They got great food, great service, great everything. But all that to say, look, glad to have you. We're getting into it. Today's guest, and this platform is going to be a special place. It's going to be for current players, coaches, former players, legends. Today's guest happens to fall in many categories. Former Clemson legend, current football coach. Let's give him a little background. He was Coach Swinney's first five-star recruit. Now, amongst many of those who have come through Clemson, he was Coach Swinney's first-round pick. He was unanimous All-American when he was in college. ACC Player of the Year multiple times. One of Clemson's all-time leading rushers. Retired his number 28. And so just all-time Clemson legend, was drafted to the Bills, play a long time in the league, was a Pro Bowler, and now, recent years, College Football Hall of Famer. We are joined with CJ Spiller. What up, bro?
Man,
what's up, man? What's up?
Nah, man, hey, that was a good introduction, man.
Look, did I leave anything out?
No, you were pretty. Well, I mean, if you wanted to say I got married in 2020,
okay, yeah, come on.
Probably the few weddings that happened during COVID year.
Okay,
you know,
superlative.
So, yeah, superlative. You know, so that's top of the list. Got to make sure wife get a little shout out there.
For sure, shout out, Miss Spiller.
Man. Yeah, but no, everything good, man. Everything going.
Come on, well, glad to have you on. We're gonna get right into it. We're gonna talk. Now you're a professional coach. We're gonna talk to that. We're gonna go back to your playing years. We're gonna finish off what we think the future looks like for Clemson.
Yeah.
All right, you just came off a very adverse season.
Yeah.
To me, it showed the culture of the program. As you look back on the year, how do you feel about it?
Man, I think it truly made our team real close. Because when you come to a place like Clemson now, the expectations is very high, especially from the outside,
right.
know. But I think like the expectations from internally are as high as well. But these guys, they came together and they fought each and every game. We was in it, but just the bound kind of didn't bounce our way a couple of times, and and that's the game of football.
Right.
But the thing that I took away from this season, just being in it and just watching how the team goes, that each and every week them guys came ready to play.
Yeah.
You know how it is being a former player. Man, you lose a couple games,
right?
It can get the morale down. But
heads start going down. That locker room starts changing a little bit.
Locker room start changing. Kind of get some, get little clicks. Pointing fingers at each other. But these guys, man, they stayed together. They stayed the course, and I think it just made us stronger. I think it really set a great foundation for us to have a big, strong run here in the coming years.
For sure. And like, Swinney always says, God don't say oops. From the outside, I was like, hey, no. I'm like, look, you don't realize, you always say as a former player, man, I ain't going to be too invested once I leave. Yeah. You start watching them games.
Oh, you heavily invested.
Hey, heavily invested. Then I'm like, I got so much pride. I'm like, man. And so, to me, it was really cool from the outside looking in to see us overcome all the narratives outside, to see the guys rally together. Because, it was bad. It could have got a lot worse. Yeah. Which was scary. 4-4 at one time, and to see the guys finish out the way they did, I think it speaks to the culture of the program.
Yeah, and like you said, that's what showed the culture, the foundation. Standing on that.
Right.
Like you say, you sitting there at 4-4. That's not a familiar place. For these guys, but to see them really just gel together and just stay the course, and really come and just finish the way that we finished.
Right.
Like you say, it speaks volume of the foundation that Coach Swinney does set for our program.
Very short-lived, but we did get to see, and at times not in full throttle, but we had some special moments with Phil and Shipley.
Yeah.
How'd you feel coaching this year?
Man, it was awesome. Anytime you can coach, two guys like that, it's special. It's two guys that, they want to be coached hard, they want to be pushed, they striving to be great. That's, to me, that's special. Some people be like, oh, it's easy to coach them too. But man, to me, it's hard to coach them type of guys, because the expectation that they have for themselves.
Right.
And you want to make sure that you putting them in position to succeed. And, they coming in there asking questions.
Yeah.
They pushing you, making you better as a coach. So to me, man, this year was real fun. Obviously, we had our ups and downs with, ball handling and stuff like that. But overall, man, the leadership that they displayed in our room was special to sit back and watch.
Right. We always kind of say the running back's heartbeat of the team. And just to see, man, Shipley he was your first full career guy.
Yeah.
To coach.
Yeah.
So just tell me about your relationship with Shipley and just how much you appreciate his career.
Oh man, got a great relationship with that man. Really came in together honestly, and just see his development over the years. It's a beauty to watch. You know, he's a fierce competitor. That's one thing that I truly take away that I'm probably gonna really miss about him.
Right.
It's just how competitive he was, both on the field and off the field. Like this kid, he did not want to make below a 4.0.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Especially, you know, everybody tugging at him, wanting to go do this and that.
Right.
And for him to maintain a 4.0 throughout his whole college career speaks volume of him. And, you know, he used to always come in and be like, coach, I don't know if I'm going to pass this test. And I'm sitting back like, dude, you make a 4.0. Like, what are we talking about?
You're going to be all right.
Like, and then he'll come back, coach made 97. Like me, I'm probably stressing over a stat test.
Right.
You know, up late. That's a breeze. But I mean, it was fun. You know what I'm saying? He always wanted to get better. You know, he took hard criticism. He took that in the right way. You know, some guys, you know, they take that and be like, oh man, that's how you did it. But he wanted that, and he was one of them kids, man. If you truly got his trust, he was rocking with you.
Yeah.
You know, and it took some time to develop that trust. But man, I'm gonna definitely miss him. Gonna wish him nothing but the best. Excited to watch him perform here in the combine, and I know he's gonna have a bright future. You know, people kind of give me a grief, but I'm telling you, man, just being around him, just knowing his makeup and what he's made of, that kid's future is gonna be real bright at the next level.
Nah, shit happens, man. I knew it was gonna be special when he came in. So my last year, and you just know, some guys you don't know, because when I saw Travis Etienne for the first time. If I was putting money, I'm like, bro, I ain't gonna be no good.
Yeah.
Like I was like, you just.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. Your skills and drills. I'm like, bro, Trav. I'm like, nah, I don't think he got it.
Yeah.
But then obviously he ended up having to put the pads on. With Ship, man, first drills, mat drills, he came in that spring. You just kind of knew, he the real deal.
Yeah, and that's what it is. I mean, I obviously, you know, wasn't around during the recruiting process, but I still followed the program very close. So I knew, you know, the guys that we were recruiting, especially in that running back room. I'm always follow that close regardless. And so I kind of had been hearing about him, and I'm like, okay, let me just watch him.
Yeah.
And like you say, man, when he first came in, like his mindset was like, I'm not taking a backseat to nobody.
At all.
In
the most humble way, though.
In the most humble way. It's like, man, y'all say y'all the best, y'all finna have to show me that you the best.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And that was his mindset. That was his approach each and every day. And like he would tell, you know, especially after you guys left, like he would tell the young guys, like, I'm finna show you guys why I'm the starter.
Yeah.
Like you gonna have to, if you want to be the starter, you're gonna have to outwork me.
Correct.
And to me, I think that's what drove him the most. Is like he wanted to set the tone for everybody in that room. Like this is what a starter looked like.
For sure.
And I think that made everybody in that room better. And I think with Phil, it kind of complimented, because Phil's kind of like, he was like that big uncle in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that cool uncle that you like.
He smooth everything out.
He smooth everything out. You know, Ship. You know, he's kind of like that uncle. Like, Mama, I don't want to really go over there, but if we got to go there, we're gonna go there for a little bit.
Yeah.
And Phil gonna come in. And he gonna make sure everything's smooth. Make sure the nephew is good.
Correct.
And you know what I'm saying? But also keep that other uncle, like, keep him in check too. Like, all right, you good.
They were a good dynamic.
They was a good
obviously
dynamic.
They're best friends,
Yes.
but even on the field, I mean, I felt they really balanced each other out.
Yeah, they
too.
really balanced each other out on the field. Like, and they knew the hardest thing for running backs is really trying to understand your game.
Right.
And understand the other guy in the room, his game.
Right.
And understand that y'all bring something totally different to the table.
Yeah.
And I think when you understand that, you have an appreciation for each other. And I think them guys, they really did a great job of balancing that out.
Last time on Ship, do you got a favorite play that comes to your mind, favorite moment for him?
Favorite moment? I mean, everybody probably going to think about the jump over Louisville, which was, I mean,
insane.
To me, I think that's an iconic moment for
Right.
sure. That's one that's gonna get played for a lot of years in Clemson football. I would probably say, honestly, the run this year against Florida State. I mean, he had an inside run, made a couple guys miss, ran a guy over. Like, you've seen, like,
The heart.
you've seen the heart. And then I would probably say my favorite run, honestly, probably up at Wake Forest, the touchdown run out of the goal line.
Yeah, when we had to have it.
When you got to have it. I mean, he bounced it, dude hit him in the back. To me, if you want to sum up what type of player and what type of competitor Will Shipley is, just go watch that play.
Tell me this, but you had a lot of big plays in your career, but now you're a coach.
Yeah.
Which one have you got more excited for?
Which one I get more excited for?
Is it even, or is it even like?
I think they're two different two different animals, honestly.
Yeah.
As a coach, you excited because you seeing the development in your guys just at a full display.
Right.
As a player, you really don't see that.
Yeah.
Because you're a player. You hear your coach saying it, but you like, man, is I really doing it?
Yeah.
And so as a player, some stuff you're going to be able to teach, and then there's some stuff that cats just got God-given ability with.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And so as a player, I knew, my quickness and my speed, that was just God-given ability.
Right.
Catching the ball, God-given ability. But then just understanding the game, how defense is playing, that's stuff that you have to learn and develop as a player. That's where I tried to get better at, because I knew the other stuff would take care of itself.
For sure.
But it's tougher. I would say it's tougher being a coach than as a player, just because I'm not. As a coach, it's nothing you can do.
You're at the mercy.
You're at the mercy of, all right, man, making sure that this cat go out here and perform at his best ability.
Right.
As a player, you can control that. As a coach, you can only hope and pray that he go out and do what you coached him to do. And so that's the challenging part.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I try to really tell my guys is that, and I try to be very conscious of not trying to tell these guys this is the way that I would have done it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because that can weigh heavily, and that was one of the things that me and Shipley really battled with a lot. You know what I mean? Because I don't never want none of my guys to feel like they have to do it the way that I done it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's totally different. We're totally different players.
Yeah.
And so I'm very conscious every time that I'm speaking to them dudes of all right, let's just try to do it this way. You know what I mean? Instead of saying, I probably would have done it this way.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Because it's very easy to say that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, you got to understand that these guys, they are not me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I fight that battle a lot when I'm talking to them.
Now that holds a lot of weight, because obviously you set an incredible standard. Before we get to your career, I really want to get to that. Tell me, I'm sure the fans want to know too, just what do you see for Phil in the future? What have you seen from him? Because obviously to see him come on, and I think it's really cool. I think, to me, being around him, he's a great teammate.
Yeah.
Him and Shipley are best friends.
Yep.
And I feel like he humbly took the back seat and waited his turn.
Yes.
And obviously the injuries allow him to be able to show the world what he can do, and he finished off the season really strong. And to see Shipley go on now, and Phil's got the chance to just be a RB1. What do you see for Phil? Man,
I'm excited for Phil. I mean, like you say, he kind of waited his turn. Honestly, his journey at Clemson is probably more similar to mine than probably what me and Shipley's on was, honestly.
Yeah.
Because obviously when I was here, had to wait my turn with having James Davis, another great running back. And so I kind of see similarities more as me and Phil as far as journey-wise compared to me and Shipley. Now, me and Shipley playing style is probably very similar.
Right.
But as far as journey-wise, I can see it more like Phil, just because we had to wait our turn. And I'm telling you, he gonna have a big year.
Yeah.
He gonna have a big year. He's a very patient runner. He got to the point where he understands his size.
Mm-hmm.
You 225, 230.
Big back.
Play like that.
Yeah.
Don't play like you 200 or 205. And that was a challenge that I had to challenge him with, after his freshman year, because, he wasn't playing to his size.
Right.
And as a runner, man, when you play to that size, especially his size, cats ain't trying to hit.
Yeah,
that.
you ain't trying to tackle
that.
You
ain't trying to
full throttle.
Full throttle, for 4 quarters.
Right.
And so once that light bulb really switched off in his life, man, I really honestly seen the development and the difference that it made for him. And so now he know, okay, I see what Coach talking about. And I kept challenging him, dude, I'm just telling you, if you just make it jump out of one of them just one day, I promise they're not going to want to come to you.
And he done it on the national stage
and
now.
He done it on the national stage. I mean, and I think really having that game against Notre Dame really seeming okay, this is what type of cat this. I mean, I didn't even realize, because when you in it, you don't really, I'm not sitting there counting how many carries my cat got.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
you
so
just
they
in the flow of the game.
I'm just floor of the game. So they come to be like, hey, Coach, you realize he tied the school record or broke the school record with 39 carries. I'm like, 39 carries. And that was never my intention for him to have that many carries in that game.
Right.
To me, that's a high volume of carries for a running back.
It's a lot.
You know what I mean? And to see how fresh he was and how powerful he was running for the whole game, man, that just goes to show what type of player he going to be. He going to be special. And then now he's starting to take on more of a vocal. I mean, you'd have been around, feel like he's a very quiet individual.
Correct. Very
but
stoic.
now he's starting to speak, and I tell him all the time, man, you don't probably have to say much, but when you say stuff, it's gonna carry a lot of weight.
Correct.
Because of the person that you are.
Yeah, no, Phil's a fan favorite. I mean, Shipley too. I think, and you know this is, man, sometimes the fans out there, y'all get y'all's own narratives.
Yeah.
And I think just for me, Shipley was one of my favorite teammates.
Yeah.
Leader in locker room since the day he got there. Obviously battled injuries through his entire career. He played through stuff that people wouldn't even know.
Yep.
And he went out there and gave it his all. So I just love to give him his flowers, because sometimes just the narratives out there get switched up with him. I'm like, bro, he was a competitor, and there's no way Ian's success Clemson's had the last 3 years would be what it is without him.
Without a doubt, man. Like, man, for anybody to question like what type of person that kid is or what type of player he is, they just don't know football.
They
honestly.
don't. Yeah.
I mean, that dude. Trust me. Teams around the country, if he was coming out of high school, teams would be lined up to try to sign him.
For sure.
Like, he's just the ultimate competitor. Like you say, teammate. I mean, yeah. When you in his position, you're not going to please everybody.
Can't.
You know what I mean? And that was, some conversations that we used to always have. Like, dude, like, when I was here, like, I didn't please everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's okay.
Yeah.
That was okay with me.
Right.
Now, I wasn't the Michael Jordan to extreme. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I was going to push my guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you don't know, all right, if you're going to come out your junior year, this your last time.
Yeah.
Or you're going to come back. For me, it was my senior year. I ain't had no more after that. So I was going to make sure that everybody around me, they understood that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that we wanted to set a standard. Like, dude, if we want to try to get to where we want to go, this is what it's going to take.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if I got to get on you, I got to get on you. But at the same time, I got to make sure that I'm handling my business.
For sure.
And I think that's where a lot of people got the misconception with Ship.
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, when you in those type of roles and you that type of leader, everybody's not going to like what you do or what you say.
Yeah.
But that's okay, because people that's in it know it's coming from a good spot.
Great. And it comes with the territory. So, look, getting into your career, I look at you and I feel like when Swinney talks about you, is a cornerstone to this era of Swinney.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you were – and I want to get into that. What was your first impression of Coach Swinney? Because you saw him before national championships, all the Coach of the Year awards.
Yeah.
He was a receivers coach that was trying to get a big-time recruit to come to Clemson.
Yeah. I mean, what you see is what I seen in high school, right? So my high school teammate, Kevin Alexander, he was already committed to Clemson.
Yeah.
So you saw always see Coach Swinney come through our field house back in Lake Butler, right? And so he used to always just be himself, check on you. You know what I mean? Not overdoing it,
right.
Like some of these coaches do. But I mean, he was just always himself. So I was intrigued to that. I like, oh, that dude, he pretty solid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, and then I used to always ask my teammate Kevin, like, man, how is it? Because he was talking to him more than I was.
Right.
He's like, man, coach, he like, oh, bro, he good. He good people. Like, he don't just talk football. Like, oh, for real? He's like, yeah, he talk about everything. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And so, fast forward to, going through the process, like, one of our analysts that's on staff now, Andrew Zhao, he went to Alabama, of course. So, to me, it just came down to, I had one visit left.
Right.
Clemson was never on my radar. I knew about Clemson and all that stuff, just growing up a Florida State fan. But Clemson was never like, okay, I want to go to Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know what I mean? So, coming down to one visit, I'm like, I had just seen Coach come through the building a lot and kind of develop, somewhat of a relationship with him. And so I'm like, all right, man, let me call over to, I'm going to have my boy call over to Belm and kind of see, like, what's the recruitment? Like, oh, you recruit me, you're not recruiting me? Because, like, they were sending stuff, sending people and all that. But to me, I felt like they wasn't really recruiting me. Right. So I just wanted to know, so I can make this final decision. And so he did his due diligence. He called over there. He called me back. He was like, bro, they recruiting, but they ain't really recruiting.
They ain't really trying to.
So to me, I was like, man, bump that. I'm finna take this visit to Clemson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With no intentions of probably coming to Clemson.
Yeah, you just want to see what it's about.
See what it's about. Check it out. See what it's, see what it is. And that's kind of what, Coach Swinney always said. Like, every time I was talking to him, like, man, if you just come, just check it out. It's cool. If you like it, keep recruiting. If you don't, go, somewhere else, because he'll recruit other dudes. So, I mean, that's kind of how that happened. But man, what you see is what I got. I mean, he was down to earth. He was very honest. You know, and for me, especially, I was having my daughter was getting ready to be born coming out of high school.
Right.
And so a bunch of our conversation was how we're gonna navigate those waters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to me, that was special. And I think ultimately, I think that's what set him over the edge because everybody else, it was more football. And to me, I think when you have those type of players like the Trevor Lawrence, the Deshaun's, man, them cats can go anywhere in the country, they're going to be successful.
It's got to be more than just
ball. You know
ball.
what I mean? It got to be more than to ball. And so to me, that's what it was. It was just more than ball.
That's cool. I mean, honestly, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You see the program what it is now because obviously he took his philosophies and made Clemson what people see it to be. Because, I mean, that's what the program is. It's about more than ball.
Yep.
And that's cool to hear. Then what was the moment? Like when you told him, like what was the moment that cemented you? Because obviously the way Clemson look like now ain't how it looked back.
No, it was
back
like,
then.
Y'all had all the fancy stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't had the fancy stuff.
So what'd you see that was like, I'm coming to Clemson?
Honestly, man, like I just remember Andrew Zal, Gerard Warren, my big uncle. Like them was the guys that I looked up to when I was a jit, watching them play high school ball and watching them go off and play college ball. And I used to always ask them like advice, like especially through this process. And the only advice that both of them gave me, they just said, when you go on a visit, and this is the advice that I tell kids even to this day. They told me, they said, when you go on a visit, you just gonna know. Like it's just gonna be a feeling.
It's gonna be a piece.
You just gonna feel it. I like, that's the best you got. Like what?
Right.
They're like, trust me. Like when you go on visits, like you gonna know where you're supposed to be. And believe it or not, man, like I was coming off my mom. She only went on one visit with me, and that was to Florida, because obviously I'm 30 minutes from that campus. Right. And so every other visit, I went by myself. So all the stuff that she was hearing was coming from me. Yeah. But this was the only visit where I called back home. That was far away. Like I had to been to Southern Cal. Yeah. Obviously, Florida. Hadn't been to Florida State, but she had to been there multiple times. Went to Miami. But this was the only visit where I called home. Like during the visit, normally I wait till I get back on Sunday night or Monday to let her know how it went. But this was the only place that I called back home and said, I think this is gonna be a spot for me for about 3 or 4 years.
Come on, man.
And when I got up here and that feeling happened, I said, this that feeling they talking about right here. Right. I never remember, I was over at the center in my little hotel, and I was just looking out into, I think that's Lake Hartwell right there. And I'm like, wow, like just that feeling they talk about. Yeah. But I knew what I was looking for in the college too as well. Right. Like I grew up in a small town, so that's what I was looking for. Correct. Small town. Correct. Family atmosphere, family oriented. That's what I was looking for. That's what I come from. Right. And that's what I got when I came on my visit. You know, crazy part, I never came to a Clemson game. My first game as Clemson was my first game as a player.
No, that's crazy, because usually you got official visits.
You go to the school. Honestly, I don't even think I seen the school, because I came during Martin Luther King week, so school was out. Right. And so I just remember Jacoby Ford and James Davis, they stayed back and had like a little house party or whatever. And so like campus-wise, like it wasn't popping. Like it was dead when I got up here. And then like game-wise, I didn't know what that felt like until actually my first game against, I think we opened up with Florida Atlantic or something like that, or Florida International, one of them schools. So that was my first game day experience.
Even seeing the hill.
Even seeing the hill.
Well, look.
I'm like, man, what is this? I'm like, okay. Obviously, after I committed and signed, I came back for the spring game, but you know it
ain't like it
ain't the same.
On a Saturday,
you know what I mean?
In the Valley.
But then I think to me it gave my mom more peace. That spring game, because you know I'm 5.5, 6 hours away from the crib. Yeah, you know what I mean. And so when she came up here, she felt okay. I see why my baby boy felt like this was a place for him. Yeah, like she was more at peace. I think that's the biggest thing, man. When your parents at peace with the decision that you make, it make everything else smooth. And I think when she came up here and got that peace, it was cool.
Come on. Well, look, it all worked out.
But that's crazy, huh, man?
Nah, I've known you I ain't never heard that part of the story that you even come see a game.
Never came to a game.
I don't think I ever even heard of a recruit besides the COVID kids.
Yeah, besides them. Never came to a game. Never came. My first game at Clemson was my first game as a player.
Well, shout out to Coach Swinney for being a hell of a recruiter.
Yeah, like, man, he I don't know who you job. Man, he was just up. I mean, he was just honest. Yeah. Like everything that he said, you know, kept it real. That you see in our program, he talked about. He said, you want to graduate? Yeah. Make sure you graduate. Right. Like if that's important to you, we'll make sure that happens. Yeah. All right. You want to understand how to be, you know, a father to your kid? You're going to be around great people. I had him, had Coach Burns, had Coach Rump. Yeah. Obviously, had Coach Tommy Bowden, who was the head coach at the time. I was surrounded by those people. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so all the things that, you know, that I want to accomplish, we talked about it.
For sure. Look, we're going to do rapid fire this last 5-10 minutes. I want to get through your career.
Yeah.
And just give me some quick answers. But I want to talk through a couple moments. I'm going to say some things, and you give me just what comes to your mind. When you came to Clemson, I think one of the special moments the fans remember. And I remember coming to a Florida State game like 2008. When you hear thunder and lightning, what comes to your mind?
Thunder and lightning? Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Brotherhood. That's what me and James, that's what we are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know everybody see the glitz and glamour, but man, to me, I always tell you guys, man, just to build that brotherhood in that room, because that's what's gonna last a lifetime.
Yeah.
So when I think of thunder and lightning, I think about the memories and the moments we had on the field, but most important, I think about the side conversations that we had in the hotel room. So I think of brotherhood.
Come on. When you think of big plays at Clemson, what plays come to your mind for your career?
Oh, Georgia Tech, Maryland, Auburn, ACC championship game, Music City Bowl game, Wake Forest freshman year,
hell of a play.
Senior year, Virginia clinching the division to go to the championship. And then this ain't even a great memory, but the freshman year against like South Carolina, I think that's the year we lost. Yeah, that's the year we lost my freshman year, and seeing the importance of that game, because I didn't know the importance of that.
Because you're not from here.
Because I'm not from this area.
I know Clemson fans feel some type of way about this. When you hear Heisman, how you feel about it?
Disappointed.
Yeah.
Disappointed.
Yeah.
Disappointed. And it ain't even from my standpoint, right? It was more, I was disappointed, and I felt like, and I know that I didn't, but I felt like I let my dudes down because I seen throughout that season how much, especially when that train really started taking off,
right?
How much they was really pushing for that.
They was blocking now.
They was, them dudes on both sides of the ball.
Special teams,
like everybody, like that was disappointing to me. And it's like, to me, it's like, what more could I have done, honestly?
Right.
Like, I just had a great regular season. I mean, you can't ask for a better ACC, a championship game, period. Like, you can't ask for a better performance. Like, to me, it's like, what more could I have done to just get the invite? And this not to take nothing away from Mark, because Mark, one of my best friends. I love Mark Ingram. But I just felt like, had I got that invitation, I think it's a good chance I probably win that award.
Because of the body of work. Because
of the body of work. And then a lot of people don't even know, if you really go back and really study that season, I really didn't play I probably played full game wise, just a full game. I probably played, honestly, maybe 7. If I had to go back and study.
Right.
Just because a lot of people don't know I dealt with that turf toe.
Correct.
And so, as you know, man, a lot of people know when that good stuff went off.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I could not push. And I knew not to get off such I knew I was hurt the opening game. I still remember that play vividly to this day, punt return.
Right.
And I got up off the ground and I tried to walk off. And I said, oh, shoot.
Yeah.
I can't push.
Right.
And so I went straight to Danny. I'm like, Danny Poole, who was our trainer at the time. I said, I said, man, I can't push off. He's like, what you talking about? I'm like, I can't push off my foot.
Yeah.
Like, something wrong. And so, boom, I knew then. And so I always just think about, man, had I not got hurt, and I know God has everything happen for a reason, so I never question him. But it's always that thing, like, had I not got hurt, how special would that season have been really for me?
Correct.
When you really think about it.
Yeah, no, it was one of the ones.
Like, it was one of them. It was a special year. I mean, you talking about first 6 games rain delay, so I might get the first half. Oh, I can't even go play the second half because the good stuff done.
Right.
So now I'm relying on Jamie Harper and Andre Ellington to go finish the job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or half the time, throughout the week, I pride myself on conditioning. I can't practice and I can't get myself in game shape.
Right.
Because I'm not practicing. And so, but everything happened for a reason. But I would say disappointment, man, just for my guys, just because I seen the sacrifice and how they wanted to push for that award.
Correct.
But they ended up giving me one though at our team banquet. They gave me a little
Heisman?
replica, little Heisman.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, I got that.
Cool.
Yeah, I got that at my mom's house. I ain't gonna say she is at my mom's house.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
yeah, they gave me a little Heisman trophy. So I got my own Heisman trophy.
All right, last one on your career, and I want to do like rapid fire for Clemson.
Yep.
Is because obviously you're a big reason to me that Coach Swinney is still here. I feel like y'all senior class when he took over in 2008, then obviously you came back in 2009.
Yep.
What do you remember most, or what do you reflect on most from that time? Because then since then, it's been the Swinney era.
Yeah, I mean, I just remember. I mean, that 2008. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, nobody never expect your head coach to get fired in the middle of a season.
Right.
But you always knew that, you always seen Coach Swinney, like he had the key ingredients to lead a program.
Yeah.
Guys from Melvin's position was always talking to him. Like he was always talking to other people.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So you always knew it was in him, but you never thought that it would happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so when it happened, it was like, okay, here we go. And then that last year, like it was crazy. We was down in Florida for was actually in the Gator Bowl playing against Nebraska. And so it was a big thing. Okay, you're going to come back, you're going to, turn pro. And so, me, I got a 6-hour drive back to Clemson. So I'm calling my tutor, one of my tutors, Maria, like what's going on up there? Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to stay away from all stuff that's happening in Clemson and really trying to evaluate, like, should I come back? And one of the reasons I came back, honestly, for my last year was I always promised my grandmother that I'd graduate. Like, if I ever had an opportunity to get a full scholarship, that I'd graduate. And I was at the doorsteps of doing that in December. So I'm like, all right, I'm at the doorsteps of graduating. I made a promise to my grandma before she passed that this is something I'll do. And I'm like, all right, I got one more chance to play with my boys. And so that year is like, all right, let's do it. But going into that press conference, a lot of people didn't know. Like I walked in Coach Swinney's office and was over at McFadden at the time. I'm crying. I'm just hung the phone up on my mom telling her that I'm coming back last year. But I walk in the office like, man, I don't know if I'm coming back or not. But in my head, I know I'm coming back.
Yeah, you want to play,
but, you know what I mean? But, when I walked up there and I seen my guys up there at the front row, listening to every word that I was saying, I knew I had to change some wordings up because I knew they were listening to everything. And so to see their reaction when I announced coming back, it made it all worth the while.
For sure. All right, look, got one coming up, but we got 2 questions for you to end it. Is NCAA is coming back.
Yeah, man.
And look, I'm nostalgic.
I just want to know who the impact player is going to be.
That's all I need who gonna have the stars?
Yeah,
look,
who get the impact player?
I wish they would do like how they do it in the NBA game and Madden game. They got the all time teams.
Yeah.
All right, so for Clemson,
yeah,
I'm gonna let you do skill players. I'm gonna let somebody a defensive legend do a defense. For skill players, you got 1A, 1B for every position.
1A, 1B.
Quarterback, running back, receivers. You got 3 receivers.
Yep.
So you're gonna have a boundary to the field. You got a slot.
Yep.
And you got tight end. You got 2 people for every position.
Who
was CJ Spiller's all-time Clemson skill players?
Ooh, boy.
Quarterback first.
Man, you trying to make me lose some
Look. It ain't personal. It's just
it's not personal.
you ain't even gotta get no crazy reasons. Just give me a name.
Okay.
And let it be that.
All right.
Quarterback.
If I had to go quarterback wise, I'm gonna go D Watt, and I'm gonna go Kyle Parker.
Okay.
I mean, that's not on my man T-Law, because I love T-Law.
Or TB,
and I love TB. But the reason I probably wouldn't put TB, just because TB was a redshirt freshman my senior year.
Okay.
And I played with KP.
And you saw what it was.
And I seen how he rocked on that field for me. So
his ratings not about to be crazy, but look.
Yeah, his rating ain't gonna be crazy. But the thing that me and KP had, we had a rapport.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He trusted me enough that even if it's double coverage, I'm gonna still throw it to Spill on his wheel route.
Come on, all right. Well, that's your quarterbacks, running backs,
QBs,
running backs.
Yeah, I would have loved to play with D Watt now. We would have put some points up
for sure.
Running back wise, that's tough right there.
Go ahead and submit yourself. Do not play games.
Nah, I ain't put myself in there.
All right,
I ain't put myself in there. It wouldn't be fair. Give me Andre Ellington.
Okay. I'm
Andre
not arguing.
Ellington.
Look, okay. Who you got second?
Give me Give me Travis.
I was hoping you was because I'm like, all right,
Give
look,
me Travis.
all right, that's fair. Look,
And I love JD. That's like I say, that's my big brother.
yeah,
But
that's solid.
Andre Ellington, and I'm gonna make sure I say this when I look in this camera over here. He the closest thing to CJ Spiller.
Look, hey, you said it. Look, it come from you. Like I think his career gets kind of undermined, but hell of a career.
I'm just telling you, he the closest thing to what I'd have been at Clemson.
Shout out a little bit. All right, you got boundary. Finish up with boundary.
Boundary. All right, receivers. All right.
Give me big bodies.
Give me a big body. Give me Mike Williams.
Okay, Mike Dub, shout out.
Give me Mike Dub. Then give me Martavius.
Brian. Okay, hey. Now Clemson family, y'all know sleeper under my career, hell of an athlete though. I like that. Okay, now we're going to the field.
To the field.
I'm gonna go ahead and think you going with Florida boy. We got you going to the field.
You know where I'm going.
Look, you going to the field.
You know I'm gonna go Sammy.
Come on, got to.
You know I'm gonna go Sammy.
All right. Honestly, you can put anybody else there, but because you know how the offense play, but you can just whoever you want to put there.
I need Sammy and Nuke.
Okay.
I need them too.
Fair enough. Look, that's we getting
okay.
Them. Look, can't argue with those. Now we in the slot. In the slot.
Ooh, finna get freaky in the slot. I mean, I love some old Hunter Renfro. That cat just know how to get open and play ball.
Okay.
Give me Hunter.
Okay.
And then give me another slot. Ooh, trying to think who'd have been in here. Only one I can think of probably be Ray.
Hey.
That I can put up.
I like Ray.
I like Ray.
All right, last one. We got tight ends.
Tight ends? Oh, Dwayne Allen.
DA.
Dwayne Allen and Davis Allen. Them easy.
Come on, 2 DAs. All right, we wrapping it up. All right, last question I got. I think the fans will enjoy this. All right, give me your top. Let's just get down to. I'm gonna do 5 or 3.
You making me lose some friends. Right
give me your top fastest players that come through Clemson.
Top fastest player come. Oh, that's easy.
Let's go 4. I think 4 is plenty. 4 top 4 fastest players and
that I play or just
not anybody that you've seen on the field or that you know and where you putting yourself in there.
Okay. All right. Jacoby Ford.
Okay.
Obviously, you know, if y'all want to throw me in there, y'all can throw me in there.
I
try to exclude myself.
No, we throwing you in there. We throwing you in there too.
I would say, what's my man's name? DB. Justin Miller.
Oh, Justin Miller can roll.
Justin Miller
can roll.
He can roll. And then Ty Hill.
Okay.
Them dudes there.
All right, top 4. Fastest Clemson players ever. Heard from CJ Spiller. Look.
All right. But Jacoby, by far, is number 1. Like, it ain't even that came through Clemson. They ain't even, I mean, it's not even close.
Look,
honestly.
The fans going to enjoy. Y'all heard from the Clemson legend, CJ Spiller, been on with us. You can make this one short and sweet because I feel like it's going to wrap it up. Because this is going to be his only time on here. For what you see for Clemson football, now that you're a coach, you've obviously come through a player. You helped build this program. I feel like we had the year we just had. What do you see to end this off with? What you see for Clemson football?
I mean, the future is bright. I mean, if I had to describe one word, that's what I use. It's bright. I mean, it's the right pieces, the right players.
Yeah.
And then the foundation's been set. So I would say the future for Clemson football is bright.
Come on. Well, look, if you tune in this long, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Come back for another episode. Peace.